everyone. Welcome to Mission to Inspire. My name is Shola, and we've got our wonderful guest here with us today. His name is Eric McHugh. Hi, Eric. How are you?
Hi, Shola. How are you doing? And thank you so much for having me. I'm really grateful.
Thank you for joining us today. Eric, oh my God, he is so diverse. I'm just going to leave it to him to introduce himself and talk about everything that he does, and then we'll go into today's topic. I'll leave that to you, Eric.
Very well. It's nice to meet everyone. My name is Eric. I'm 30 years old, blessed to be living in beautiful Southern California right now. My main hobbies are chess, Muay Thai. I love to read, anything under the sun, and meditation. I just got back from a 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat in Joshua Tree, California. That was a beautiful, transformative experience. And honestly, I try to plug that everywhere I go, just because I think the more people who have a meditative practice, I think the overall better is for everyone. So that's my shameless plug. So Vipassana meditation, feel free to check it out. But in terms of work experience, I went to school in California.
Right.
My first jobs out of college were at Snap Inc. and as a bankruptcy consultant. And
Okay.
after that, I joined the entrepreneurship world. I helped found a SaaS platform that helped brands replace affiliate codes. And
Right.
right now, I'm working on two projects simultaneously. And the first is ShopX. We help Web2 brands monetize in Web3. The
Wow.
why behind that company is overall, I'd like to live a nice, peaceful life.
Yeah.
I felt that to be more difficult if I felt the money system was corrupt. And that led me to physical gold and physical silver as a solution to that, which led
Right.
me to Bitcoin. And ShopX is a way for me to onboard people into that ecosystem at scale. Like if a Web2 brand, they launch a Web3 product for their customers, the customers want the e-commerce incentive for that product. They
Mhm.
enter the ecosystem. That's a 0 to 1 moment for a lot of people. And the second company, which I think you're probably more interested in, is
Mhm.
Data Inc. And that's the first ever AI-powered matchmaking service.
Right.
The why behind that is I think authentic, good relationships are essential for human happiness. And
Right.
I think dating apps and social media, I think it just damaged the dating marketplace in general. So
Mhm.
what dotting does is we auto-generate profiles for you based on your digital footprint, like your social media, all that good stuff. And
Wow.
then we create matches based on other users' digital footprint, based on maybe stuff you'd have in common. So for example, I could get three matches, Ashley, Kimberly, Jane. It's like, okay, Jane seems interesting. Tell me more about Jane.
Yeah.
She connected her Facebook. She's the youngest. You're the oldest. Our
Mhm.
pattern recognition software says that works well. She connected her LinkedIn. You both studied business and went to Ford University. She connected her Spotify, or she connected her Instagram. You both go to a bunch of national parks. She connected her Spotify. It's like, oh, did you know you both follow this one random artist? Did you know this artist has a concert coming up? Would you like me to suggest a date with Jane? It suggests a date with Jane. And on this end, this is where Jane would see my profile. So she
Right.
could see our mutual connections just to add that level of comfort. Because I get that as a woman meeting a stranger online,
Mhm.
it's easier for a man to meet someone online than for a woman just because for safety reasons. And then she can see my digital footprint to ensure I'm like a normal person. If she clicks accept, we go on that date. And let's say we fall in love, we get married after. And
Mhm.
then from there, it can act as a relationship butler. So it can be like, oh, you guys haven't been on a date in 4 months. Would you like me to suggest this babysitting service for your kids? Oh, the
Wow.
place you had your third date is having a half off sale of ice cream. We suggest there. Or it can do cool things like, oh, she just added her birthday's coming up in 2 weeks. You don't want to miss this because you missed the last one. She just added this thing to her Pinterest board. It may make a good gift. So it can help support from there.
Right. Okay. Oh my goodness. Wow. You've got a very diverse background, and we would be delving into every aspect of it today. Thank you so much for sharing the information. How can we contact you if we want to contact you?
Yeah, so if you're interested in the Web3 portion, the best place to be our website, shopx.co, shopx.co. And if you're interested in dotting, the first ever AI-powered matchmaking service, it'd be dating.io.
Right. And both companies are still up and running.
Oh, they're both up and running. So ShopX is more of a mature startup, so we've been around for like 5 years.
Okay.
Dot Inc. came about this year.
Wow. 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 So are you the founder or you co-founded those companies?
Co-founder for each, but to be honest, I think titles are kind of dumb, especially at the startup stage. And the reason is because at the startup stage, yes, everyone has a bunch of equity, but at that point, everyone's just doing a bunch of things. Like, so if you were to say you're CTO or CMO, it's kind of pointless because the CTO is obviously going to help with marketing, and the CMO at that point should help with some tech stuff. So it's like everyone's just really supporting each other, and that's how you create a successful startup. You can't be like, no, I can't do QA. That's not my job. It's like, no, everyone has to jump in and do QA. It's like, oh, I can't help edit the website. I'm CTO. No, everyone has to help edit the website. And it just changes.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's the power of partnership and leadership, isn't it? Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
I think servant leadership is, I think, the more appropriate word. Because if you're a leader, I think your job is A, to empower other people to do their best because you're bringing on people for a reason, and you bring on people hopefully who are better than you at their thing. And
Mhm.
it makes no sense if you could just micromanage them because they're better than you at their thing.
That's
Who
true.
are you to tell them what to do? You just
Exactly.
have to let them do their thing, and they'll figure out how to do their thing in the best way possible for them because only they know their thing, and only they know the best way for them to work. And if the proper incentives are aligned, the
Mhm.
environment is right for them, and then they'll shine. Or you can do the other way, which is if you start micromanaging, then it just becomes icky and unpleasant.
That's very true, very true, very true. It's not good to micromanage anyone. Very true. Can you actually share a pivotal moment from your journey that sparked your mission to inspire others, and how has it shaped your approach to leadership and entrepreneurship?
Yeah, so I think everyone has two missions, and I think everyone's first mission is the same. So I think of everything in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So if you take an emotion, like let's say you're angry, sad, happy, joyous, loving, whatever the emotion is, you're
Yeah.
saying I'm vibrating at a certain frequency. So
Mhm.
like, and this is like a radio station. So like, if you turn into a specific radio station, you get that station. If you're vibrating at like an angry frequency, you get angry. That's why you always attract angry people. If you're sad, that's why you attract sad people. But on the flip side, if you're happy, if you're loving, you're trying to help people, that's how you attract those type of people by being that type of person, because like attracts like. So I think everyone's inner purpose or inner mission is to raise their own level of consciousness. So that goes from 0 to 1,000. Like shame is the lowest, anger, pride, hate, fear, they're below 200.
Mhm.
Like love, joy, happiness, those are in the 500. So your goal as a person is to raise your own level of consciousness. And what does that do around you? It raises the level of consciousness of others around you. So let's say hypothetically one person, they leave this podcast, their vibe raises a bit. They
Uh-huh.
go out in the world, they raise the vibe of those around them, and
Yeah.
then they go out in the world, they raise the right vibe around them. So it creates like a nice positivity upward spiral.
Yeah.
And so that's your inner purpose. And I think your outer purpose is how do you, because I think everyone's happiest when they're serving other people. And I
Mhm.
think God or the creator of the universe, I think he gives each of us individual gifts that are specific to me and specific to you. So like I'm the best me in the world. If you try to be me, you won't be able to be me. But at the same time, if I try to be you, I can't be you. So if I'm happiest serving other people, how do I best serve other people?
Mhm.
The only way I can best serve other people is if I listen to my intellectual curiosity,
Yeah.
follow what my heart says, because that's what I'm actually put on here to do. And
Mhm.
then that's what I'm best at. And then that's how I can best serve other people. So the outer purpose is how do your intellectual gifts manifest in the real world to help other people? And this just so happened to turn into ShopX Web3 e-commerce because I was really into that space and data-ing. So that's just what happened in my case. So that's why it seems diverse, but I don't feel it as diverse. They're just two parts, like they're just extensions of me. So it's like, eh. And then they came up randomly too. It's like I've been working on ShopX for a while. I
Uh-huh.
was going on a crypto podcast tour like a couple years back, because obviously in the crypto space, the
Right.
more attention around the project, in general, the more attention around any project, the better. And
Yeah.
I went on some podcasts as the crypto economy is run by a dude named Mark. We kept in touch after we became friends.
Yeah.
And then a while back, some random AI looking thing started following me on Twitter. I'm just like, what is this? It turns out he had this idea to start dotting. Oh, we got on a phone call. I found it funny. It seemed like it would help people, and that's how that came about as well. So like they're all connected. Everything is connected, I've learned.
Ooh. I picked something from what you just said now. You said when we operate on our lowest consciousness, that's sadness, right?
So David R. Hawkins, there's a vibrational chart for every emotion. So the lowest you can feel is shame. So if
Shame?
you're shame is the lowest. So don't ever feel if you can, don't ever feel shame. Because if you feel shame, it's not a good place to be in.
No.
So like it goes 0 to 1,000. So shame is the lowest. The people who were able to reach 1,000 were Jesus, Krishna, and the Buddha. Like Gandhi is like in the 700s, Mother Teresa 700s, love, joy, peace. Those are in the around 500s. And if you're above 200, that's when you're giving energy out. So if you ever talk to someone and you feel energized after, you're just like, oh, that was great. It's because they're operating above 200. But if you talk to someone and you feel drained, that means they're below 200. And to give you, I guess, another train of thought, um, so if you're people are most impressionable when they're at the level of fear, hate, pride, and anger. So those are between like 100 and 200. So if you were, let's say hypothetically, you're power, like in the position of power, and you wanted to control people en masse, the
Mhm.
best thing you could do is keep people in those vibrational states. So, like for example, like COVID, if you want to control people, just push fear, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm scared. I'll listen to you." So if
Mhm.
you go into social media or mainstream media with that lens, it's like, why is it always so negative? Why are they always trying to push hate? Why are they always trying to push fear? And it's because it keeps people in a state where people they're looking for leadership. They're looking for someone to tell them what to do because they're scared, they're angry. It's like I need someone to tell me what to do. So I think that's the overall reason why, like you log onto Twitter, it's like 99% just like Jesus Christ, I didn't need to read any of that. But yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. Thank you for that. Your diverse background includes experience in tech, consulting, entrepreneurship. I mean, how do you leverage this range of expertise to drive innovation and growth in your current venture or ventures?
Yeah, so I look at every moment, every person I speak to, everything that happens to me. So first off, I think I truly believe I think the universe is working in favor of you. So everything that happens, I think God has a plan for me, and I'm too small to even comprehend God's plan. Like, who am I? Just like, yeah, like Jesus, like who am I to? He just has my back. So if he has an overarching plan for me, that's overall good for me. I
Yeah,
assume everything is working in my favor, even if something may seem negative.
yeah,
And I also view everything as a lesson. So like every person I t talk to, like yourself included, every experience, you can learn something from everything. So I just stack those on top of each other with different experiences and picked up different things at different jobs. And
yeah,
after doing that for a while, it has a compounding effect. Because like obviously I picked up stuff at Snapchat that obviously helps with ad stuff. The consulting job that obviously helps like that helped me learn to deal with like high level executives at different companies, like how to write. Like I'm not very professional, but if I need to write a professional email, I pick that up from there, like how people in that kind of group interact.
mhm,
And then as an entrepreneur, I was very fortunate to be in a incubator. So what an incubator is, it's basically startup school. So it's like startup one, startup two, startup three, just desk clubs next to each other. So
yeah,
at a young age, I was surrounded by many startups
right,
in different levels and in different industries. So obviously I would network my way across there. Like, hey, do you want to grab lunch? Do you want to go for a walk? And I picked the brain of what worked best for a lot of CEOs and just like all different types of experiences from like 20 to 30 startups. I'm like, what worked best for you? What didn't work best for you? And you
yeah,
just kind of integrate that knowledge and then make it your own, and then you just kind of run with it in the future.
right. Oh, wow, that is interesting. So you started as an entrepreneur at a very, very young age then.
So I went to college at UCI, and during that time, I interned in Washington, D.C. and Barcelona. So the Washington, D.C. was Barcelona was tech, DC was consulting, which is kind of funny just because how complete opposite those environments are. Like Barcelona, you show up like 9 or 10 to the office and like sandals and stuff, it'd be really chill. But like in Washington, D.C. at like a consulting firm, you have to show up at like 8 in like a full suit and tie, which
Yeah.
is kind of annoying too, because it's all humid and stuff. And if you've ever done humidity with like the full suit jacket, like
Mhm.
on the train, you're just like, "Ah, it's not good." But right after that, my first job was at Snap Inc., helping craft their ad algorithm because
Oh,
the company was about to go through an IPO, so I wanted to see what that was like. And B, the location for Snap at the time was really cool. So it's on Venice Beach. So they didn't have one big campus. They bought a bunch of like different houses and warehouses, and you can jump around and work with different groups of people. And
right.
again, it's a way to learn from a bunch of people. And
Exactly.
then from there, I joined as a bankruptcy consultant just because that sounded like a good job. Like after college, you're like, okay, consultant, lawyer, doctor, that seems, I
Right.
guess, seems right.
Mm-hmm.
That did, that didn't align with my purpose. And then that's why I quit that job and started going to local cryptocurrency meetups.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how I met the original ShopX team. And
Wow.
then that the other startup spun off of that during the bear market. And
Yeah.
then I already explained how Dotting and ShopX, they're different teams, but they're related because we met through cryptocurrency. So that's also the backbone. So if everyone's on a similar wavelength for that, that's kind of like both work.
Wow. Wow. With your involvement in the Web3 e-commerce and the AI powered matchmaking, how do you see the emerging technology shaping in the future of online experiences and human connections? How do you see it shaping? How will it shape?
Yeah, so in terms of technology, I view technology as inherently neutral. So like for me, like a knife is neutral.
Mhm.
Someone could use a knife to prepare delicious food, or someone can use a knife to harm someone else. It really depends on the user of the technology. So for me, blockchain and AI are no different. And I know people are all doom and gloom in AI. They're like, maybe Terminators are going to come over and take over the world. But I'm just like, no, it depends on the people who are actually building the AI. So I view dotting as a positive spin on AI. I think it's gonna match people and hopefully they can build an authentic relationship.
Wow.
I think that's a good way to use AI.
Mhm.
And same case with blockchain. So I view them as both like so let's go through blockchain first. So I think blockchain is extremely important because I think it helps reset the base incentives for us humans. So let's say hypothetically, I'm in the US right now. If I want to become rich, and I view money as neutral too. I think there's good ways to make money, there's bad ways to make money. I think karma is a thing. So if you make money in good ways, it's gonna work out well for you in the long run. If you make money in bad ways,
Yeah.
well, karma comes back to get you. So like, let's say hypothetically, I want to get as rich as possible
Yeah.
without providing any value to you or anyone else. How would I do this in the current climate? I would place myself right next to the money printer, aka the Federal Reserve, and extract as much value as I can. What do I do with that value? I give it to my friends in government, I give it to contractors, and then we end up paying like millions of dollars for like an iPhone stand or something like that.
Yeah.
So that, and then after that, now I'm in a position of power. I use my corrupt methods to get two of my other friends in a position of power. Now there's three of us. And
Okay.
because we have access to the unlimited money, the free money, the three of us will beat the people who don't have access. Like imagine three politicians who have lobbying background, like the backed by the lobbies. They'll
Yeah.
crush the ones who don't have access to the lobby. So
Mm.
this is all incentivized by just printing money. So how does Bitcoin fix this? It caps the money printing situation. So let's say hypothetically in a Bitcoin-based world,
Yeah.
I want to become as rich as possible. How do I do this? I can't place myself next to the money printer because there is no money printer. The only way for me to become rich is for me to produce as much value for as many people as possible because it's voluntary. Like for example, if I want your Bitcoin, how do I get your Bitcoin? I can't secretly print it away from you. I can't take it away from you. I have to produce something for you, and
Yeah.
then you voluntarily give me your Bitcoin because I produce value for you. So it's a fair exchange. So
Wow.
that's the base incentive for a lot of people.
Okay.
Like even in I'm not thinking like I guess our generation, like if people are just thinking that way subconsciously, like
Mhm.
2, 3, 4 generations down the line,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of room for growth as humans, and AI is a tool to leverage that.
Wow.
So AI is just a tool to leverage people's natural talents. Like for example, I'm the number one surgeon. I just happen to live in the UK. I can use AI, I can use robotics, and now I can operate on people in the US. So
Mhm.
I can help more people. So like I can have clients in the US, I can have clients in Asia, I can have clients in Africa, I can work unanimously. So I'm leveraging my natural talents to help more people. And the
Right.
same can be said for anything. So like let's say hypothetically I'm a kid in India.
Hmm.
Um, 50 years ago, let's say I'm born in the slums in India. 50 years ago, I'm
Yeah.
still playing the slums. It is what it is. It's unfortunate, but that's just my lifestyle.
Yeah.
But now with AI, let's say I have a natural, and it goes back to the natural talents. Like you follow your natural gifts. My natural gifts are e-commerce. Oh, what do? I can use AI to create a website. I can use AI to code the website. I
Mhm.
don't have to hire a developer now, which obviously a kid in India and the slums can't do. I can use AI to create copy. I can use AI to create the logo. I can use it to create email flows. So I can leverage what's in my mind and spit out a company quicker. And if it's meant to be, it'll take off. And if it's not meant to be, I would have gained experience. I know I learned more about myself, and then it's on to the next venture. So it's just something I can leverage. It's a tool I can leverage.
Leverage. Oh my God. Wow. That's very clever then.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's cool.
It's really
Um, And like for your podcasting, like I know plenty of friends who use Riverside, and I'm not like trying to plug Riverside or anything, but the reason they use Riverside is because there's AI technology. It does all the clips for them. It transcribes everything, so they just kind of do the podcast, and
yeah.
then they get a bunch of clips, and then they share it out that way. So just again, they're leveraging their natural podcasting talents, and now all the clips are done.
That's true. That's true. Wow. That is true. That is very true. Thank you for that. Um, you recently returned from a 10-day retreat.
I love that experience. And we have around 9 minutes left. But yeah, like let me talk about that. So it was a 10-day noble silence meditation retreat in Joshua Tree, California.
Okay.
The method they use, it's called the Vipassana method. So it's the method that the Buddha used to reach enlightenment. So
Right.
it's 10 days of noble silence. So that means there's no talking, there's no writing, there's no reading, obviously no electronics. So you're not even supposed to look at other people. So it's 10 full days. You wake up at 4, meditate, breakfast, meditate, lunch, meditate. You have a walking path, you just meditate the whole day. That's the thing.
That's
So
it.
the method is the first 3 days you focus your attention on the area around your nostril. And then you start to pick up different sensations like in this area. And then from there, you scan your body back and forth with the attention you learned how to use. And what this does, it extracts the traumas you've stored in your body in the form of different sensations. So it could be like come out as pain, like anger will come out as like pain or something. Could come out as sweat, could come out as like tingling. You're just scanning your body back and forth, pulling out the traumas that you stored throughout your whole life that you didn't even realize you stored. So if you think about it like a magnet,
Yeah.
if you're a NASA scientist and you want to send something into space, you
Yeah.
need a piece of metal to be 100% pure. What do
Mhm.
you do with the metal? You run it through magnets,
Yeah.
and the magnets extract the impurities of the metal, leaving yourself with a pure metal. So that's what you're doing on a spiritual level. And again, you're just extracting over and over again. And the benefits were insane. The dreams I had were gnarly. I was thinking about stuff like, because your subconscious, you just store everything. And a lot of times you just store and don't even address it. But I
Mhm.
was thinking about stuff that happened when I was like 3, 4, just throughout my whole life, people I've never thought about. It's like, oh, shit. So
Mhm.
yeah. And then after you do that, you become
Yeah.
a positivity generator
Uh-huh.
because you're generally wishing every because you close the meditation too, you store all your energy in your crown chakra, and then
Mhm.
you wish everyone in the world peace, love, and happiness, which
Yeah.
is convenient for you because if you tie back to the frequency thing, how you attract like attracts like, if
Yeah.
you're wishing everyone peace, love, and happiness and everyone to do the best, that
Mhm.
means everyone is wishing you peace, love, and happiness, which is obviously a better like straight up in a business setting, like a networking event, if you're trying to help people and you're wishing everyone the best and everyone's wishing you the best, that like it helps networking in the practical world too. So it's a win-win. And I recommend everyone try it. There's centers all over the world. It's been Vipassana meditation. It's completely free. So um they run on donation base. So as a previous student, I donated to the center because that had a great value. But if you haven't attended the course or you haven't completed a 10-day course, you can't donate all the food, all the housing it's provided for, all the people who serve, all the people who cook your food, they're past students giving back to the community, so everyone's in the same vibrational frequency.
Mhm.
It's just a good time. I mean, it's very difficult, but it's also a good time.
Oh my goodness. Wow, 10 days meditation retreat. Hmm, that is really interesting. Oh my God. So when you go on this retreats and you say when you do one thing, you go back meditating, you do this, you go back. So does that mean you don't talk to anyone?
You have full, you don't talk with anyone, you don't look with anyone. And the reason is, let's say because it keeps meditation practice going the whole time. Like
Right.
let's say hypothetically after this podcast, I meditate for 30 minutes. What do I do after this 30 minutes?
Uh-huh.
I'll call like a coworker. I'll check emails. So I'm reconnecting with society. But if I don't have access to that, the
Right.
meditation practice somewhat continues. And like once the wheels are going, it's just a full 10 days of that. So
Right.
the silence aspect, I think, is actually extremely important.
Okay. Oh my God. That is interesting. Interesting. So, as someone that enjoys playing chess, yeah, and exploring fine cuisine, how do this interest form, how does it, impact you? How does it form your approach to so many other things that you do? How?
Yeah, so the fine cuisine, to be honest, I'm just a foodie, but it helps you appreciate the finer details, which helps you work with development and product design people much better. Like, so for example, if you go to like a restaurant, let's say they have a specific placement where there's a design on the plate,
Mhm.
they place it so like the line is facing you. It helps you appreciate and give thanks to the people designing your websites and stuff like that. So that's just an excuse to say I like food because food is really good. In terms of chess, that's been an extremely helpful thing. And the reason I started chess is
Mhm.
because, again, you have to be conscious with your time. I think time is one of the most valuable assets. So
Yeah,
I took a conscious thought, I'm like, okay, if I log on to Instagram, I log on, and I need social media because I do the two company stuff. But like, I logged on Instagram, like, okay, let me see if I scroll my reels, how much of this adds value to my life.
yeah.
And it turns out none of it does. And if you go back to social programming to keep in fear and jealousy and stuff, like that's actually what's coming out. So what do I do about this? I'm like, okay, chess is a cool habit. But unfortunately, I've been trained to log on Instagram, like Facebook trained me to just get addicted to that, did those dopamine hits.
Yeah.
So I downloaded chess.com. I place it right next to Instagram.
Hmm.
So they're both apps. So whenever I have the urge to go on Instagram, instead of going Instagram, I'll
Yeah.
take out chess and I'll play a couple of games, which I
Mhm.
find to be much more beneficial. And the mindset helps really well with running a business because
Right.
in chess, the position, one of the lessons is it's a positioning is extremely important. And if you can position yourself in the right place, you'll win, which I think ShopX is because of where we're at in the crypto market and AI and the dotting because of where we're at in the dating market. And
Mm.
the second and most important lesson in chess is you could screw up a move and make a wrong move, but every single time you play, every single time you make a move, there is the best possible move for you. So that means if you may have screwed up two moves in a row, but it's the third move, it's like there's still best position, the best move you can make. You should make that move. And if you continuously make the best move, you
Mm.
usually end up with a better position, and then you usually end up winning.
Ah, okay. So,
And it's just fun, to be honest.
and it's
But
just fun. And you use it for problem solving.
yeah, like it gets your mind going. Like it gets your mind it rewires your brain to think in a different way. Like because if you make it because again, habits to me, habits are a double-edged sword. Like a habit can be very powerful, it can be
Yeah.
very negative. Like if you develop like a day drinking habit, and every morning you get in the habit of having like a wine with your breakfast,
Yeah.
that's gonna put you down like a negative pathway. It's just gonna get worse and worse for you. But if you every morning you work out, you play some chess, you read, you meditate, that sets your day strong with positive habits, and your day just kind of rides off of that. And
Wow.
again, good habits have compounding effects, which are important. So if you've been playing chess for years, you've been playing meditation for years, you've been reading for years,
Right.
you're leagues above yourself if you haven't been doing that.
Wow. Interesting. Yet again.
And then I also do Muay Thai, and chess and Muay Thai are the same thing for me. And again, it helps you with accountability too, because if chess, you make a bad move, you get punished. In Muay Thai, you make a bad move, or you think you take yourself out of the present, you get hit, you also get punished. So it's a way to train yourself not to make bad moves. Because if you make the bad move, or you're just thinking that you're getting anxious, you're not focusing on the present moment, there is a negative consequence to that. And again, they're very similar, like chess openings, Muay Thai openings, different routines, different all that, like different combos.
Mm,
They're 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 the same activity in my mind.
that's true. That's true. If you could instill your journey into one piece of advice, for example, what would it be?
Yeah, so I'd say I'll shout out the earlier answer of like you're happiest serving other people. You're the number one you in the world. So be your authentic self because if I'm me, I'm number one in the world. I can't, no one can beat me at being me. So why would I be not number one when I can be number one? But we already went over. That's another piece of advice is I think I view everyone as a conscious creator, whether they know it or not. So
Mhm.
when you're creating something, just don't harm anyone or take anything away from everyone, and you should be good to go. So I think those are, if everyone followed those two rules, I think we'd be in a better place as humans.
That's true. Thank you so much for joining us. Before you go, I'm gonna ask one very burning question. Your dating app, how is it doing?
Oh, so it's doing really well. We're on waitlist. We're on the waitlist version right now. It has around 400 users. The reason we're on the waitlist is it takes time to train the AI based on actual data. So that's where we're at in that process. We're
Oh,
doing a soft launch in LA just because that's where all our connect, like the team lives near LA, and plus it's like kind of a hub, so this makes sense. And
hmm,
then we're going to go city by city and eventually go global and worldwide. But based on the data and based on the matches it's already been generating, it's I think it's gonna be a powerful technology. And long term, it doesn't just have to be dating too. It
okay.
can be a human connection app. So it can be like find me five guys in my local area who are into Muay Thai, who are into meditation, who would like to try this taco place. And then it can help me build connections that way.
Yes.
Or like let's say me and you meet in person, we
Mhm,
could take out our phones. Let's say we have no interest in dating. Yeah, who knows? Let's say we have no interest in dating each other. We could take out our phones. We could tap our phones, and then
mhm.
it's going to show us what we have in common. So be like, okay, well, you two, if you like, we just met. What did we talk about? Well, you guys have this in common. You may
That's
like that bakery down the street, and
mhm.
then it can help build a relationship that way, which I think is kind of fun too. You tap your phone. It's like, what do I have in common with this person?
Okay, that's good. So, have you had any success story? Any marriages?
No marriages yet. I'm waiting. I think when the time is right, God will present the right person. Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us today on our show.
No,
Thank you so
Th
much.
thank you for having me. It was a blessing talking to you.
And until next time, it's Shola and Eric on Mission to Inspire. Keep watching. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Like, follow, comment. Until next time. Goodbye.